One of the things that is so strange about religion and so dysfunctional about our accommodation of it is that people manage to take things personally, and their sensitivities here are protected in a way that is, just really undermining of the very principle of free speech and civil society. So you have people who are, in the extreme case, you have people who are willing to kill and die over cartoons, and people who don't share their beliefs feel that the only appropriate response to this is to no longer cartoon and to condemn the cartoonists for their insensitivity. And the cartoonist getting murdered isn't sufficient to clarify this moral situation for them.
We share something in common. I had a Jewish father and a Catholic mother. You had a Jewish mother and a Quaker father. Talk to me a little bit about where you're from spiritually and religiously.
Well, I'm really from nowhere in that respect because neither of them were religious, but they weren't explicitly irreligious either. Neither of them said anything to me about religion that I can remember. And so, honestly, I can't tell you what I thought about religion until I was old enough to form my own views about it and just encountered it in the world. And that really didn't happen until I was a teenager. So if you had asked me, even at the age of 14, what I thought about God or any of the world's religions or what I thought about spirituality, I can't imagine what I would have said. It was just a totally secular upbringing. I'm certainly not, in my atheism, reacting to any religious indoctrination that I had. And my interest in spirituality and the contemplative life and the religious experience that kind of came online for me around 17 or 18 also was just based on my collisions with my own conscious life, not based on any kind of religious upbringing I had.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Some of this has been written about when you were about 19 years old. You had an experience that altered some of your views and opened your mind a little bit?
Yeah, well, as many people had before me, I experimented with a few different drugs. And when I was 19, I took MDMA, otherwise known as ecstasy, for the first time. So this was sort of before MDMA was the rave drug, and it was in the psychotherapeutic community and I guess what remained of the hippie community. So it was handed out at that point very much as a spiritual technology. It was not something that was just a matter of getting together with 500 people and dancing and having a good time. So I took it very much with the intent of finding out something about the nature of my own mind. And, as I describe in my book, Waking Up, it really had a kind of revolutionary effect on me, more than anything else ethically. I think it just, the experience was a very simple one. It was an experience that many people have had. I was sitting with a person who was one of my best friends, and we were just talking, and at a certain point, I realized how much I loved him. He was, we're both 19-year-old heterosexual men. I had never really been in the habit of thinking about how much I love my male friends, and I realized the depth of it, and what that meant was just a kind of fundamental commitment to his happiness. I just realized how much I wanted him to be happy, how much I wanted his, hopes and dreams in life realized. And so there was just a pure intention and a pure wish that he be happy, and that was synonymous with love. But the revolutionary part was that I realized that I felt that way for everyone, for friends and strangers. I mean, everyone was included in this feeling of just wanting others to be happy. And so then it became a kind of a truly universal experience of what, I think it would be aptly called unconditional love. And as you know, this state of consciousness is very much at the center of certainly some of our spiritual traditions. And I had never experienced anything like it. And I had no sense that it was possible to live life from that place, much less, glimpse that state of consciousness.